Hello everybody, welcome to my last cycle for CSC 842. So what I did for this cycle was just add on to what I did with cycle 10. So that if you remember that project, it was visualize logs, and it took Procmon CSV and created visualizations out of it. So someone in the chat suggested that I try to incorporate this with the Cuckoo sandbox. So I thought that was a good idea. So what I did is I started with this. Um, I started by taking the report JSON that comes out of Cuckoo and creating visualization just like I did for the Procmon. One thing I want to note is one of my previous cycles, I created a cuckoo-modified API, and one of the API calls will actually pull these report JSONs for you. So theoretically, you could do everything inside Python if you want. I'm not going to show that in this video, but just know it's there if you want to use it. So this is my project page. It's just the same as last time, except now we have a gallery with Cuckoo JSON reports, and there's a new command line tool called plot Cuckoo JSON. You can see I gave you a whole bunch of options for turning things on and turning them off, just like I did in the last cycle that I submitted. And so one of the things, well, let me back up. So this is what it looks like when you have a sample in Cuckoo Sandbox. You can see there's a whole bunch of tabs. You got static analysis, behavior analysis, network analysis, and so forth. So what I did is, this is actually one of the samples in the gallery. It's the first one, the Coveter example. And it's also a sample that I plotted with my last cycle with Procmon. So in here, what you do is you go to behavioral analysis, and you see you got a process tree, and it's got a whole bunch of different types of behavior information. But as you see, it's, if you try to follow this line by line, it can get pretty tedious. So what I want to do is take all this data, which is actually in the Cuckoo JSON report, which you can get through the reports tab right here. If you were to download that, you can then run it through my tool, and it'll plot visualizations for you. And you can see what my tool does is it goes through these different subsections, like it pulls out file system information, network information, registry information, and so forth. So if we look at the gallery, I plotted the same samples that you saw the last cycle that I submitted for Procmon, except now you have the view under how Cuckoo sees it. And the examples are very similar in the fact that, I first show you what is just the processes look like. And you can see this is what it looks like here. All the same types of information. You can hover over. You can zoom in, and so forth. So, your next plot here showing processes and networks. So you can see here's all the endpoints and the different types of connections. There's a lot more granular information inside Cuckoo compared to Procmon. Like for instance, I can tell what socket is set up in order to make a TCP connection to an IP address. So you can see I added that information in here. And here's the file information. You can see I plotted it like I did the other one. You've got the files, you got the reads and the writes and the renames and moves and copies and all that kind of stuff. And I also added registry information. You can see this sample actually, it does a lot to the registry. And everything you can hover over, just like my last program. So it's not a lot of new information that I'm teaching you this week. It's just a different log support type. I had to write it from the ground up because the Cuckoo report here is completely different than Procmon. But my goal was to have it look like the Procmon output from my previous cycle. So No matter if you capture it with Procmon or if you capture it with cuckoo-modified, it should look, in my opinion, it should look somewhat the same, so you can do comparisons. And you see here, um, I think it does. The only difference I noticed between the Procmon and the Cuckoo output is Cuckoo actually missed some of the scripting engines for the capture samples. So I already created an issue for that. Let me show you. Under the issues, I have, where is it? Where is it? I just submitted it a week or two ago. Oh, here it is. Oh, no, actually, this is, I did submit my, this project as a potential enhancement to Cuckoo, and you can see the author actually thought it was pretty nice, so it may actually get included into cuckoo-modified. But this is the issue I was talking about. So I submitted the fact that the scripting engine is being missed, so hopefully that'll get improved. But other than that, the information looked about the same. Um, I don't really have any other observations to make. Other than that, I updated the documentation. So I actually made this a little more extensible now. I moved everything to these things called objects, so I can add different log types. And you can see, there's the old Procmon for my last cycle, and then here's my new Cuckoo JSON report module. So that's about all I have. I appreciate your time. Look forward to your comments, and I'm excited to work with all of you in this class, and look forward to classes with you in the future. Thanks.